Hi guys, welcome to KillerBGarage's Halloween Spooktacular Night of 1,000 Screams. I have three, oh my retinas. Now I can't tell if that's from the flashlight or just my regular floaters. Okay, I have three stories I'm going to tell you. I will swear on anybody, anything you want me to, that these stories are true. I was there. I saw them with my own eyes. Actually, the first one, I can't completely verify myself. I was 2 years old, but I'm taking my mother's word for it. So moving forward to the first story, I was 2 years old. Supposedly, my grandpa and I were really close, and my grandpa died. He died of a heart attack. And a couple of nights after he died, my mom and I were home alone. My dad worked second or third shift, I forget which. And my mom was in bed. We were both in bed. And she could hear a grown man, crying in my room. And it took her a little bit to get her bearings, comprehend what she's hearing. And she finally got up and went to my room, and when she opened the door, the crying stopped. Now, like I say, I can't verify this one myself, but my mom told the same story all our lives, and it never changed till the day she died. So I believe her. Moving forward, we moved into a different house, and there was something up with this house. You could hear somebody working in the basement at night. Not all the time, but enough times that it was like, what is going on here? You could hear sawing, hammering, just general tinkering, like what you would hear someone working, like woodworking. No power tools, just like I say, scratching, sawing, hammering. And all of us kids heard it. I have a brother and a sister. And we would bring it up to our parents once in a while. Our parents would be like, yeah, okay, you kids need to go to sleep. They completely blew it off, every time. So that was going on. And then one night, I'm laying in bed, and I swear to God, I'm wide awake, laying in bed. And I felt something crawling across my legs, my feet. If you have a cat, you know what this feels like. It felt like a cat crawling across my feet, my legs. We didn't have a cat. And so it felt, I swore I felt this thing crawling across my legs, right across the bottom of my bed. And I was laying there with my right arm hanging off the edge of my bed. So this thing crawled across my legs, and then a few seconds later, something grabbed my arm. Now, once again, I swear to God, I was awake. This isn't a dream. It was just like me standing here right now. It freaked the hell out of me. Since then, I'm now 59 years old. This happened probably, I don't know, 8-10 years old. I'm 59 years old. I'm a grown-ass man. And I will not sleep with any of my appendages hanging over the edge of the bed. So anyway, going back to the sounds of someone working in the basement. Years later, we're all adults, okay? And both of my parents are divorced at this point, so they're not talking to each other. But they both confirmed our stories about somebody working in the basement, sawing, hammering, scratching, like writing things down. Individually, they both confirmed it and just didn't want to freak us out as kids. So there was something going on in that house, and we all knew it. And we all tried to ignore it. Okay, story number 3. moving forward again, I'm like 15, 16 years old. That would make my sister 13, 14 years old. And I don't know where it came from, but a Ouija board appeared. Okay, I don't know who got it, who bought it, who brought it to our house, but all of a sudden we have this Ouija board. Right away, I'm going to tell you people right now, it blows my mind that Ouija boards are for sale in the store. They are not a game. Okay, so here we go. Started playing with this Ouija board, read the instructions, started playing around with it. And, oh, it's moving a little bit. It moved a little bit here, it moved a little bit there. And we were on this thing for probably, we're kids. We got nothing else better to do, right? So we're messing with this thing for, a couple weeks, whatever. And it's getting more and more active. And answering questions and not answering others. And it seemed to like my sister and I. That's why I brought up my sister. It would move very actively when my sister and I had our fingers on the planchette. I had to look that up. I didn't know what the name of that was. It's a little thing that you put your fingers on and it moves around the board. It did get to the point where we didn't even have to be touching it. We would hold our hands above it and it would move. If we pulled our hands away, it would stop. For whatever reason, it needs your energy. So like I say, we didn't even need to touch it. And I know I wasn't touching it, and I staring at her fingers, and she wasn't touching it. But the weird thing about it was, it always told us things negative. There was never anything positive. There are things that it told us to this day I don't talk about. But a couple of things I will talk about for my Spooktacular is it would tell us things in the future, negative things that were going to happen in the future. And one of the negative things were, and my best friend at the time, it kept saying, hate this guy, hate this guy. He's going to die, he's going to die, he's going to die in a car crash. And creepy, right? So the other thing that happened was it told me I was going to die of a heart attack at 40. Okay. It went out that far in the future. That was the furthest it went into the future, along with other things. So going back and then moving forward a little bit, I don't know what happened. I can't tell you what happened with this friend. I can't tell you where it began, what it was about, but we turned on each other and we were enemies. I can't tell you why. He was a good guy. I was a good guy. Can't tell you why. But he ended up dying in a car crash while we were up. I think we were just turned seniors in high school. So that came true. Now moving way forward, okay, I'm 59. I obviously did not die at 40 of a heart attack, but I did find out that I had a birth defect with my heart. The only reason why I knew this was I changed doctors, and this doctor happened to catch it. I had the same doctor for years. This guy never caught it. I changed doctors because of insurance, and this new doctor caught it on our first visit, that he could hear my heart struggling. And looking back, I had signs. There are signs when your heart's giving you problems. You get out of breath easily. I had a consistent cough for no reason. Looking back, it's like, hello? We went through a bunch of tests, found out what it was. The technical term is bicuspid valve. Your heart valves have 3 flaps. Okay. Sometimes those, as you're cooking in the womb, those flaps don't separate. and I ended up having 2 flaps that were fused together, so I only had 2 flaps, and that gets you after a while. Some sooner than later. So okay, we found out what it is. Okay, and this is I said, well, and at the time I was in business for myself, so everything is about the business. And I said, well, can we get this done next year? My slow time is usually January, February. This is like early spring. Doctor looks at me and says, you're not going to be here next January, February. I'm like, oh, let's do it sooner than that. So that April, I ended up having open heart surgery. I now have a clickety-clackety, man-made clickety-clackety and some rubber hose keeping me alive. But that was, now going on 19 years ago, where they didn't give me a year. So in a way, it kind of gave me a heads up, because that did happen. I was 40. And that Ouija board told me I was going to die of a heart attack at 40. But I happened to go to that new doctor, and he caught it. And we took the steps to cure it. If I would have stayed with my existing doctor, I wouldn't be here right now. So, you tell me. Is it something or is it nothing? I don't know. I can tell you that, once again, there are things that we don't see. Okay, there are things out there. I believe that when you're a kid, okay, and you don't have the weight of life on you, where you're constantly thinking about bills and work and the house needs this and the car needs to get fixed. You have all this garbage, all this minutia in your mind constantly. When you don't have that as a kid, I think you're more open to things that we normally don't see. Your mind is just there. It's open for things. I think that's why kids, you can't always blow them off when they say some crazy stuff, because I don't know how crazy it is. And it makes you think about life in general. What is all this? You hear some people, saying it's a matrix, or we're living in a matrix, or it's some sort of experiment, or blah blah blah. I don't know, but I know there's things out there that we don't see. So something to think about. I guess that's it. That's my Halloween Spooktacular. Those are true stories. Like I say, I'll swear on anything or anybody about it. Whether you have a story like that or not, let me know. It's nice to know when you find out that you're not alone on some stuff. So for now, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the stories, and a little piece of dad advice: don't close your eyes.